doing a good job, but if you're not, head on there right now, and you can get us on YouTube at Eagles FM Abuja, at Eagles FM Abuja. Get on there and discover that what I'm saying is the truth, and get onto our Facebook page as well, and you would also find us at Eagles FM Abuja. Yes, so get onto all of these platforms, talking about Instagram, Twitter, that is X, and TikTok, and we have a great, strong presence. And like I always begin to say, I'd say Inakwana, I'd say Ekara, I'd say Ndewo, and I would say Amisiere. Finally, Una, good morning. I'd like to begin by bringing to your eardrums some of the things that you need to know today. That's right. And of course, your gunmen have abducted an unspecified number of students traveling along the east-west road in Ughelli, Delta State. And reports show that the incident actually happened on Monday, talking about yesterday. And then let's also bring to your eardrums the fact that a woman leader of the All Progressives Congress, that is the APC, in the person of Hajia Miriam Suleiman, has slammed Kaduna State Governor Uba Sani, accusing him of disloyalty to his predecessor, Malam Nasir El-Rufai. Now, in this video, which of course has gone viral, you should know how it goes. Videos like this go very, very viral like wildfire. And Suleiman recalled how El-Rufai in 2019 traveled almost 500 times to lobby party chieftains at the APC headquarters in Abuja just to ensure that Sani became the representative of Kaduna Central Senatorial District in the 9th Assembly. So that is her pain. But then let's get on to the fact that the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, that is the EFCC, Ola Olukoyede, has dismissed some insinuations that's going on about the agency only going after internet fraudsters, popularly known as Yahoo Boys. Now, Olukoyede, in a statement by the agency spokesperson, Dele Oyewale, on Monday in Abuja, have assured that the anti-graft war would not spare anyone linked with any form of economic and financial crime. So he's always saying that my mandate is not about the Yahoo Boys, it's not about the internet fraudsters, it's going across every other person who is linked to any form of economic and financial crimes, because that is their mandate. But anyways, 19 students of the University of Ilorin, Kwara State have been expelled and rusticated by the authorities of the institution for their involvement in various offenses. So this statement was made yesterday by the Director of Corporate Affairs of the university in the person of Kunle Akogun, disclosing that the approval of expulsion and rustication of the affected students by the Vice Chancellor, Professor Wahab Egbewole San, was sequel to the recommendations of the Students' Disciplinary Committee at its 220th/221st meeting. Okay, so that is that for that. Now, the Chief Executive Officer, CEO of Air Peace Airlines, Alan Onyema, has narrated how his airline suffered what he called both internal and external conspiracies. Well, Onyema has disclosed this yesterday while fielding questions on national television, saying his own country denied Air Peace and threw back its application for a technical country operation, that is a TCO permit, which could have allowed the airlines to start going into any European country. Well, then, there's been some kudos going, to the Air Peace right there, due to the slashing. Yes, that slashing in tariff. But then let's get on to this one right here. And it says the Labour Party LP, the 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi, has threatened to dump the party ahead of the 2027 general election following the ongoing crisis. Now, Obi, while featuring on a Twitter Space, X Space, if you like, hosted by Parallel Facts, said he won't die while trying to change the LP. Now, hence his decision to leave if the party's crisis can't be resolved. You should also note that Peter Obi had left ABGA some time ago, and then, of course, joined the PDP. And after the PDP, of course, not having alignment or finding alignment with the processes there, just after the duo did not work with the Atiku Peter Obi mandate during the time of competing or contesting against President Muhammadu Buhari. He had moved over to the Labour Party, but then there's been a crisis that's going on with the Labour Party, where there are factions created. On the one part is saying that the other part is illegitimate and it's not real. It's not. It doesn't have the mandate to be the party leader. Talking about the Abure faction, while the Akpata faction is also saying something different. But it seems as though what is known at the moment is the fact that the Abure faction is still standing as the Labour Party heads, and this is something that the Peter Obi has also put his voice to, and saying that I will not die trying to resolve problems with them. I might just leave if the party is refusing to heed to my advice. But then let's get on to this one, which says arrangements have been concluded for President Bola Tinubu to depart Abuja. Why is he departing Abuja, Nigeria's capital? He's departing Abuja to attend the inauguration of Senegal's president-elect Bassirou Diomaye Faye. You should know that he is now the youngest African, leader, so far, and he's only 44 years old. According to Tinubu's spokesman, Ajirin Galale, the president, who doubles as the chairman of ECOWAS, Authority of Heads of State Government, will join other regional leaders to witness the inauguration at Diaminado Exhibition Center on Tuesday. Okay, so the National Bureau of Statistics, that is the NBS, is saying that the number of electricity consumers increased by 410,000 from 11.71 million in the third quarter of 2023 to 12.12 million in the fourth quarter of 2023. So the Bureau disclosed its electricity report for the first quarter of 2023, released in Abuja on Monday, that the increase was by 3.46%. Well, can we say that this is part of the reason that we are not having power supply? I'm just saying, though. But then anyways, though, the TCN, the Gencos, the Discos, they need to sit up and tighten their belts right there and do the needful rather than just sit back and bicker. But then let's get on to this one right here. It says the troops of the Nigerian army have carried out a series of coordinated operations and raided terrorist enclaves in Katsina and Zamfara states. Now, this resulted to the elimination of a significant number of terrorists. Now, in a post that was is credited to the Nigerian Army's official X handle on Monday, the Army said the operations were conducted on March 29 and March 30. Kudos to the Army right there, and we wish you more and more of this winning, stride. We want this to continue to happen so that we can get the nation rid of at least these notorious bandits, kidnappers, and killers parading themselves out there and causing harm to the society. Now, let's also let you in on the fact that at least 2 persons were killed on Sunday night and several houses torched in the North Bank area of Makurdi, the capital of Benue State. This is something in what appeared to be the resumption of cold killings and the communal clash between the Tiv and the Jukun in Makurdi. Now, this incident, which started on Sunday evening, lasted into the following day, Easter Monday morning. We just hope that this is not going to be another situation much more like the Plateau State, communal clash, right there, which of course had some persons losing their lives. And we also hope that that this will not also snowball into what is going on or what happened in Delta State, where about 17 military personnel, were gruesomely murdered right there. And the search is still on as to finding out who these culprits are, and just to also inform that the military had already put out some faces of those on their wanted list, and efforts have been intensified to ensuring that these persons are nipped in the bud already. But then let's jump into the dailies already. Yes, the time has come. And just to also let you know, in case you're just tuning in for the first time and watching across the platforms that I mentioned earlier, talking about Facebook and YouTube at Eagles FM Abuja, this is the pages. And with the pages, on the pages, in the pages, we sample the front page stories, on various Nigerian newspapers, just to give you some awareness. And you also stand the chance, have the opportunity to add your voice in the discourse to whatever of the headlines jumps at you, pops at you, tickles your fancy, or you find quite interesting, right? But as you do so, do that with some levels of decorum, maintain civility, and be highly responsible, because you're not just anybody. You are a listener to Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. And as you well know, we update you, we upgrade you by saying that you have an experience with us that you can count on anytime, any day. And I'm handing down the numbers to your eardrum so that you can scribble it into your gadgets, your mobile devices. So when that time comes, you would not be found wanting. The number to call is 0907-353-0044 or 0908-766-8888. The WhatsApp portal number is 0909-705-4450. And the WhatsApp portal number allows for you to send your WhatsApp voice note, send a text message, or better still, send a WhatsApp portal message, and it will be heralded through the instrument of my voice via this platform, to the world, because we have an online presence, and that would be a website, www.eaglesfm.com. Now, starting off with the Vanguard newspaper, big story on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. Banks need 4.7 trillion naira to scale CBN's new capital hurdle. Page 5 has got that story. It's got a couple of writers. First writer, no bank qualifies under new guidelines. Second writer, ETI, Zenith, Axis, First Bank lead in eligible capital. And yet another writer, 7 qualify by adding retained earnings. And the last writer to that story, no need to panic. ACAMB has got that one to say. Find out more on page 5. Now let's take you to the top of the Vanguard newspaper front page. This one says VP Shetima, CBN Governor Cardoso, Ayo Teriba, headline 2024. Okay, Vanguard. Okay, that's something more like they have been given some they headline an economic summit, right? You can find that on page 14. Now let's get on to this one. LP crisis. Abure rejected Peter Obi's advice for an all-inclusive convention. Obi Dati spokesman has got that one to say. Page 9 has got that story. Now let's get on to page 12. On page 12, energy crisis, more troubles for Gencos as federal government increases gas price by 11%. Now I saw that story already, and it really touched me in ways, because what this means is that there might be an increment when it comes to the tariff for power right there. And I don't know how the Nigerian society is going to embrace this, coupled with the fact that we are going through tough times already, and having this one added to it. Okay, now let's get on to this one. Now is Edo Guba, chairman, group bicker over as Accord Party's candidate on Edo Guba chairman group bicker over Accord Party's candidate, and you'd find that story on page 7 of the Vanguard newspaper. All right, it's got a couple of writers. It said BSM gives party INEC 7 days to drop Iyere as flag bearer or face litigation. All right, Iyere remains our candidate. Omorigbe has got that one to say. Chairman and Edo will reject Godfather's imposition at governor poll, and Yusufu has got that one to say. Now let's bring you this one on Okwama. It says how soldiers, villagers died. Eyewitness has got that one to say. It's got a couple of writers. Says Bayelsa militant leader Amagbain, not from Okwama, and also notes that leader from Okoloba led the army to Okwama. And another writer says reveals the conspiracies, what transpired on March 14, and finally, of course, allow Okwama to bury the dead. Residents has got that one to say. And this one, still with the Vanguard newspaper, withheld salaries. We will shut down varsities if non-teaching staff has got that one to say. And page 8 has got that story. Please don't shut down varsities. Whatever it is that may be going on can be handled between yourself and the federal government, even though the federal government has been called upon as not upholding to agreements. Why? Well then, federal government, you need to begin to uphold agreements, because if we lose education, if we lose our children being educated, I wonder what future is left for the country. But then let's get on to this one right here, and it says London maiden flight, how we fought restriction of air peace, return flights to rejection part of MMIA. I'll take that one again on London maiden flight. Page 9 has got that story though, and it says how we fought restriction of air peace, return flight to rejected part of MMIA. Onyema's got that one to say, but let's bring this one to your eardrums right now. This one says police confirm robbers rob set ablaze passengers bus in Ogun. Page 6 has got that story. And finally, with the Vanguard newspaper, let's give you a wrap up with the sports story. 2024 Olympics, only 2 Nigerians capable of winning medals, says Igali. All right, that is that for the Vanguard newspaper. Now let's get on to the Daily Trust newspaper. With the Daily Trust newspaper today being April 2nd, 2024, we see this one. It says petrol subsidy removal 10 months after federal government yet to roll out electric vehicles. Okay, it's got a couple of writers to that. Energy crisis threatens project. Yet another writer, charging stations inadequate in states. And finally, experts task governors on infrastructure. 10 months after federal government yet to roll out electric vehicles. And that you would find on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. And now to this one right here. It says Netherlands topped Nigeria's export destination in Q4 2023. Oh, that's good. Right. And then this one right here says Wike Damagum's fate uncertain as PDP holds NEC. All right, and let's also bring this one to your eardrums. 13 killed, 2 injured in Kogi auto crash. That is a pitiful, sad story right there. Page 7 has got that story, and now let's take you to page 23. Mega looters won't go scot-free. EFCC has got that one to say. And on page 16, bandits abduct 5-day-old baby mother in Kaduna. What is the reason for such abductions? You want to find out more with the Daily Trust newspaper. This one right here, still on a sad note, 8 arrested as Unimed lecturer stabbed to death in office. All right, that is the story with the Daily Trust newspaper. And finally, of course, war on Gaza, anti-Netanyahu protests rock Israel. You would find that on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Now let's move away from that one and get you to the Punch newspaper now. The Punch newspaper, big story. Discos make 1 trillion naira amid greed crisis. Unmetered customers hit 5.8 million. Page 21 has got that story. It's got 2 writers to it. Let's get to the first one. Discos grew revenue by 30% in 2023. Overbilled customers despite grid collapses. And the second writer to that story, electricity tariff hike looms as federal government raises gas price. NERC NEC vows more sanctions over estimated bills. And then this one right here says ex-governor's trial shows EFCC won't spare anyone. Olukoyede has got that one to say. Page 8 heralds that story. And now let's take you to page 8 as well. Tinubu, African leaders grace Senegal president swearing in today. All right, so it means the president is already ready, if not out of the country already, just to attend, that swearing in ceremony, which is put for today. I'm sure he left yesterday, so today he should be there already. Now, page 24 has got the story, OPEC oil output plunges as Nigeria, Iraq slash exports. And page 2, NEC sits over state police as governors plan forest guards. Just to let you in on the fact that about 11 governors have thrown their weight behind the forest guard, corps, while 16 governors are throwing their weight behind the state police, process. But then, the National Executive Council is sitting to deliberate on that matter. We hope that they reach a compromise and that the best, of course, is indeed the one that is adopted. Now let's get on to this one. It says on page 3, presidential nod. Ondo APC governor aspirant besiege Abuja for Tinubu's endorsement. Now it's got this one too right here on page 5. Police go after hoodlums for raiding night bus robbing passengers. And that is that with the Punch newspaper. And just to let you in that you can be a part of the conversation, join the conversation via the studio line 0907-353-0044 or 0908-766-8888. And the WhatsApp portal number where you can send your WhatsApp voice note, you can send a text message, you can as well send a WhatsApp message to is 0909-705-4450. And of course, you also want to see what's going on in the studio. You have the bragging rights to do so, because on YouTube we are live as we so speak, and as well as on Facebook we are live. So get on there on whichever platform and show your support. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Eagles FM Abuja, and of course press a like button as well as a follow button right there on our Facebook page at Eagles FM Abuja. Now the Nation newspaper has got this big story. Banks experts okay CBN's policy on recapitalization. It's got one writer to it. Implementation will put financial institutions in position to stimulate real sector of the economy. And let's move away from that story right now and bring this one to your eardrums. The fact that the electricity tariff hike likely as gas to power price rises to 2.48 US dollars. Let me take that one again. Electricity tariff hike likely as gas to power price rises to 2.48 US dollars. All right, now we've got this one on page 7 right there. And then let's get on to yet another story on page 5. Don't threaten Fubara with impeachment. PDP warns lawmakers. And on page 6, Tinubu for 5 years inauguration as Senegal president, and it's got one writer, Macky Sall bows out. And then we see this one right here, and it says on page 27, Ayedatiwa disowns 273 aides appointed by commissioner. I'll take that one again. Ayedatiwa disowns 273 aides appointed by commissioner. And this one, of course, is going to be the last one that I'll be taking with the Nation newspaper. Girigu Power plans capacity raise to 1,300 megawatts. And you'd find that story on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. It's got one writer to it. Firm puts investment at 550 million US dollars. Okay, that is that for the That's that for the Nation newspaper. Let's bring you the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. I see your calls though. Don't worry, in a short bit we would be action, to whatever it is that jumps at you, pops at you, that you find interesting or that tickles your fancy. Now this one with the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Teacher shortage in primary schools hits 194,876. And this is coming from the UBEC, UBEC. It's got a couple of writers to it too, precisely. The first one, some schools in rural areas have 2 or 3 teachers. Second writer, NUT, expresses worry. Page 3 has got that story. On page 2, how Abure ignored Obi's advice on Labour Party crisis. Yunus Tanko has got that one to say. And just to add to it as a follow-up, of the presidential candidate for the Labour Party in the past election, or the recent election, Peter Obi has come out as saying that I will not die, trying to settle issues with the Labour Party. If the Labour Party is refusing to heed to my advice, to my counsel, I may not continue with it come 2027. But then let's get on and see how these pan out, and see, of course, how these events unfold, and see, of course, what would be the end result, the end product, as all of these tussle, and internal wranglings is going on with the Labour Party. But page 25 has got this one: 13 killed, 2 injured in auto crash in Kogi. Very sad story. But then we've got bills to pay. Let's go quickly pay these bills. When we come back, of course, it will be us getting to hear from you, and we will have a heart-to-heart conversation. The idea is for the purpose of ensuring that we speak intellectually and drive the course of development for our dear country, Nigeria. Don't go away.
No AC? No problem. We're cooling you down with the freshest hits. Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
The city of Abuja is about to encounter one day of perfection, completeness, power, authority, healing, and breakthrough conference 2024. One day to shape the new year as the year begins. We lay the foundations with prayers, fasting, and prophetic directions from God's mouthpieces. Come and ignite your new year in the fires of God's presence with our pastor, Pastor Karthejiu Benson, and special guest speakers, Minister K.I. and Joshua Moses, on the 20th of April 2024. Venue: Zoological Garden, opposite Area 1 Shopping Complex, Garki, Abuja. Time: 4 p.m. Come and command your day. Remember, God can be trusted.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
You're the God who answers prayer.
Abuja, get ready for a night of bliss with Pastor Ima Eze. A time of extraordinary encounter with the Spirit of the Living God. Happening Friday, 5th of April 2024 at Government Secondary School, Black and White, Kubwa, Abuja. Time is 4 p.m. Don't miss the night of the Word, true worship, the miraculous, where the glory and power of God shall be manifested and anything is possible. There will be a definite blessing for everyone in attendance. Something new and special just for you. For more inquiries, call the numbers 080-3874-3251 or 081-0792-5165. Remember, one word from God will change your life forever. Powered by Christ Embassy Abuja Zone 1 Kubwa Group.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
I suppose it was inevitable.
Eagles 102.3.
All right, back like we never left. This is the Eagles Morning Rise, and the aspect or the segment, of course, is the pages. And we're still sampling the front pages of Nigerian newspapers. We are with at the terminal of Nigerian Tribune newspaper. And yes, you can give a follow-up across social media platforms. Well, social media platforms where we have a strong presence. Okay, it's not actually ours, but of course, we have presence on all of these social media platforms, talking about Twitter, X, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all at Eagles FM Abuja. And particularly, you can watch us live, on Facebook as well as on YouTube. My name is Uduak Daniel, and I would start taking your calls. But just before I do that, I've got just 3 more to go right here on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. And when we are through with that, we will get conversing. Railway Corporation generated 1.07 billion naira from passengers in Q4 2023, and that is coming from the NBS. Page 6 has got that story, and this one right here: 6 feared killed in Anambra cultists clashes in Anambra State too. Oh, come on. What is going on? Page 25 right there has got that story. And this one right here, it says, Kogi poll, drama at tribunal sitting as witnesses disown depositions. All right, page 2 got that story. Indeed, it's indeed a drama that one of the okay, I don't know how, for want of not going to sound as though I am, okay, let's just leave it there. But this drama is really a heated drama, and you want to go to page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune to find out what exactly is going on. But then let's bring this one to your eardrums. Revenue accrued to Federation account exceeds 2 trillion naira mark. And that is a report that you should look into. Page 6 has got that one. And this one says, no rift among kingmakers. Procedure to enthrone new Olubadan on course. CCI has got that one. CCII, I beg your pardon. Page 3 has got that story. And finally, of course, this one says, UGF uncovers 13.955 trillion naira rise in negative bank balance of 28 MD. Okay, and it's got just one writer to it. Reps Committee on Public Accounts ready to invite Accountant General. All right, that is that for that, and we have indeed come to the end of bringing the headlines to your eardrums. It's time for you to join the conversation, and the conversation, as of course, is transpiring right about now. But I'd like to start very quickly with this one via the WhatsApp portal number, and this one is saying, good morning, my brother Uduak Daniel. Good morning to you too. It says, I am Mr. Izunna texting from Apowaru. Oh, Mr. Izunna, it's really refreshing to hear from you after a long time. Okay, it says, I want to say thank you for dishing out the news. Okay, but at times I feel like calling Nigeria a comedy country. I sympathize with the people that lost their lives in Kogi State. Yeah, sure. But then, as much as you might want to call Nigeria a comedy, country, I must also tell you that, look, Nigeria is not the only country with its crisis or with its challenges. It is a challenge. It is not a problem. It's just a few people, that are trying to make it seem as though we are going through a problem. We are going through challenges. Why are these things challenges? challenges because we can solve them. We know the answer. That's the part that gets on the nerves of many Nigerians. Why is it that we know the answers? The answers is just right in front of you, but then you are going through the back door. You're going through the long route just to get to destination X, and it's really, really a saddening one. But then we are hopeful that with what the president, of course, transformation, or rather is renewed hope agenda, we should see these changes. I mean, the president is putting things in order. He's really trying his best. I mean, in some sectors, talking about the sector that has to do with the road construction and all of that, which of course is something that we would be highlighting during the 9 o'clock hour, right, to seeing matters of concern, the Lagos Calabar coastal super highway that is being in construction right there. But then other aspects too are being on the works. The issue now is the issues of corruption, of course, has been cited. The issue of bureaucratic tendencies has also been cited. Other issues, are the issues that are, topping the charts and not allowing for some of these giant strides to find fruition. But that's why Nigerians are also looking to calling on the necessary authorities, the anti-graft agency, to do the needful. And of course, fish out those who are becoming bottlenecks, who have vowed that they will not allow good things to happen to each and every one of us, so that they could be behind bars, they can face the music, they can be we can be rid of these kinds of people so that we can have, a communal prosperity. But Mr. Izuna, I understand, your thoughts on that. But then conversation is trending, and now let's take the calls already. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Chief Cosmos Ubunad from Owerri.
All right, Chief Cosmos, let's have your thoughts.
Yes. Thank you. Happy New Month.
Happy New Month to you too.
Easter celebration.
Sure.
I bring you greetings from Owerri. I want to
thank you.
On EFCC going after mega thieves. What happened? A thief is a thief, whether mega or less thief. They should go after them. So these are people bringing bad to Nigeria and making our treasury dry. So any thief is a thief, whether mega or less thief. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Chief Cosmos, right there for that one, all the way from Owerri. And yes, that would be the capital of Imo State, if I'm not mistaken, though. But thank you for giving us word from there. But now let's get on to yet another call. Hello. Okay, that's a miss. Keep the calls coming through. 09073530044, and the other number is 0908-766-8888. WhatsApp portal number, send your voice note to it, send your WhatsApp portal message, send a text message, and all of them will be heralded via this platform, and it is 0909-705-4450. Taking this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Judy.
Yes, good morning to you. All right.
Insecurity in the country. Logical sport was lost, and they said they lost the bus at press. It's unfortunate. Another case, and the kidnapper kidnapped a 5 years old baby. That in Ogun State, does it mean that they don't have a police command? They don't have a commissioner of police in Ogun State. It's unfortunate. And Mr. People said Senegal for inauguration of the new president on 44. He's 92 one of 44. That's 48.
All right. Okay. This will be the last time that you would call this radio station. I have to say that, and I have to make it very clear. I see that you are not supportive of progress, and I see that you are just one person who has refused to move ahead and allow for us to have, a very, very cordial conversation that is quite intellectual. It's just about the blaming, the, crazy, I don't know where you get your ideas from, but then you start well and then you start saying things that are gibberish. Please, 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 okay, I'm telling you, so that it doesn't seem as though anybody is witch hunting or anything. Please, the last time you called this radio station, please, okay? I hope we have an understanding. But anyways, keep the calls coming through. I would not say this enough. I'll just put it out like it is, right? Let us be civil and responsible, engage, some sensibility when you are having a conversation, because we are not animals. We should be people who are knowledgeable, okay? I can't say this enough. All right, the numbers are still out there for you to call, but then let us also bring to your eardrums the fact that, we already spoke about the electricity issue and all of that, but let me also bring this to you, the fact that at the meeting, at President Bola Tinubu's meeting with the governors last February, the federal government and states agreed to recruit forest rangers and invest in more training to keep our forest and our borders safe. And that is coming from, of course, the Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, when he briefed State House correspondents after, the 140th next meeting held at the Aso Rock Villa, right there. But then there is 16 state governors expressing their support to establishing state police, and it seems as though 11, right? If I'm not mistaken. Okay, well, there's still expecting reports from 20 states, to let us into what they think would be best in terms of matters that surround state police for the Nigerian states. Yeah? Okay, but then let's also let you in on the fact that, I'll bring the stories to your eardrums in a short bit. Stories that concern troops having a great, time destroying the enclaves of terrorists. But let me bring this one to you, the sad one, where the Borno State Police Command has said it has arrested 8 persons in connection with the suspected murder of the University of Maiduguri lecturer and the command's public relations officer, Nahum Kenneth, said that already. And it was also gathered that the Don was killed on Sunday when assailants invaded his office, stabbed him with a knife and hit him with a hammer. That is ruthless and gruesome, and we hope that the perpetrators of this heinous crimes would be brought to book. It was also learned that the victim was later found dead with several injuries inflicted on his body, right? And that is indeed really a sad one. But then calls are still coming through. Let's hear from you. Hello, good morning. Hello? Okay. All right, that's a miss, though. Keep the calls coming through. And you could as well get on to the WhatsApp portal and we can have that conversation. Please do not call the WhatsApp line for now because the numbers are working. Okay, so call the studio numbers and let's have a conversation. Hello, good morning.
Hey, my name's Sake.
Good morning
How
to
are
you. I'm fine, thank you, BB Blessing.
Awesome.
Yeah,
God
fine.
bless you. I see your voice is shining like a person who is chocolate.
Thank you, BB. Thank you so much.
Nigeria will better.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
This our president, We do well. Then we just pay and back her up.
Right. You're calling from Otako, right?
I greet our caller.
Yeah.
I greet my brother, a man of microphone, Oga Salasi. God bless. I wish them happy Easter. I know say you not bring my chicken, so that I don't bring my chicken or my cow. I want to really appreciate our president for the good work we start. I pray the Lord Almighty will grant our heart where we want to carry Nigeria for a better place. This issue of kidnapping of a king, I think what we will join our mouth together, may we follow every day. I any person will give you this people information because information is matter. Make them first of all go after that people first. Any person will come out to say, okay, when they arrest them, make them release that person, no, we make sure that person can have food. They know what the president of Nigeria. I want to ask, all these people they kidnap, they kill, and they not a human being. Why is it say if they arrest Boko Haram, for people say make them release them, at least you know be well, you know be good. Where to say person will kill somebody, where hand call that person, they say make them release them. And I want to use the opportunity to beg our president. We hear say them as a conda. No people of that knows about them as a conda. May look to so massive. See, if you can able to free ourselves, conda for us. Then as they call that, but price of tea is a high for market. You know, so if you go market, direct never call that, all your never call that, fish never call that. So now we hear the local border. Then we say our president say, no, they say, don't come on, please. They have money to buy these people in cash. If you go market now, you will see how big now they pack fish. And if you are called, how much they say they sell for them, I they say they sell for me. The fish now 15 naira, you know, go see our buy. Please, I'm begging. I beg our president, I don't say he's doing well. Please, may you open a final for us, and may you please try yourself call that everything go call that. So open border, not say you know try.
All right.
So make it done and call that, not say you know try. I'm begging you. So
All right.
God bless you.
Yeah, BB Blessing, thank you. Appreciate for that one, right? BB Blessing right there. And a call that is riddled with please and quite a number of please to the president right there, saying that, hey, the situation of things is getting out of hand and there is a need for some consolidation in terms of looking into matters that affect the common man in terms of pricing, at the markets and all of that. And I'm sure the president or his aides are listening and they would do the needful. But just to also bring to your eardrums that the president is out of the country to attend the inaugural ceremony for the newly elected president of Senegal. Right there. Okay, and now let's get on to this one right here, just to bring to your eardrums the fact that banks in Nigeria may require up to 4.7 trillion naira to meet the recapitalization benchmark as prescribed last week by the Central Bank of Nigeria, that is the CBN. And the CBN on March 28 announced the upward review of the minimum capital requirements for banks in the country. So the Apex Bank had mandated a minimum capital of 500 billion, 200 billion, and 50 billion for commercial banks with international, national, and regional licenses, respectively, right? And findings from the audited and unaudited financial positions of 12 leading banks in the Nigerian Exchange Limited indicated a funding gap of about 2.8 trillion naira, while others outside the exchange is estimated at 1.9 trillion naira. Now let's take this call now. Hello, good morning. All right, that's a miss, though. Keep the calls coming through, but let's get on to the WhatsApp portal and see what is going on with the WhatsApp number. Okay, so we see this one right here, and I'll just take it very, very quickly via the WhatsApp. Please, I beg, let's not call the WhatsApp portal number. Let's not call it. Okay? Let's not call it. It's very important that you don't call it at this time, okay? All right, still trying to put it together to see how we can get a connection for the WhatsApp portal number, and that will be done in how many seconds now? 2 seconds. Okay, so let's get on with it already.
Good morning, Udrak. This is Alami from Garimpa. Peter Obi, the becoming me that Peter Obi is laughable, it's ridiculous, in fact it's preposterous, because the last time I checked, Peter Obi is actually the problem in Labour Party. The moment he stepped foot into Labour Party, that is when they had the faction, their Papa and their Abure faction, and then he has been sanctioning and supporting 100% the Abure faction until recently. So his antecedent, past antecedent is one of a man trying to reap where they did not sow, looking for an already prepared political bed where he can just come and lay on. That was why you saw the betrayal, against APGA. Immediately he completed his 8 years as governor of that APGA. He left. He became from the party that made him who he is politically today. He left he betrayed the APGA, went to PDP and picked up appointment under Jonathan as the executive chairman of Security and Exchange Commission until he was sacked for gross incompetence in 2019 by Buhari. Again, when he saw that he wasn't going to get, the party ticket of the PDP in the 2023 general elections, what did he do again? He jumped ship. So it showed you that he's not interested in building party. He's not interested in investing his time, resources, like other, patriotic nationalists, like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the rest of them have done, that have been investing over time, consistent, with their political ideology. So when he says he cannot, he's not losing sleep over whatever is happening in the Labour Party. In fact, I want to believe he's relishing in it, and it's an opportunity for him again to jump into another party, bring destabilization. At the end of the day, when he didn't fulfill his aspiration of becoming the president, he leaves that party, more divided than he met it, and he moved on. This has been his trajectory, his political trajectory, since the days of APGA, and they are well documented. For me, he has more political party affiliation than verifiable project he completed as a governor in Anambra State. So he shouldn't come and mulikodu. Some of us are too informed about his antics that look, he is incapable of building any political party. He doesn't have that ideology. His ideology is moving from one party to another until he's able to fulfill his political ambition. Thank you so much.
All right, Al-Amin right there saying his thoughts and his minds. But then let's get on to this message right here via the WhatsApp portal as well. And this one right here says, good morning, sir. On the recapitalization of banks to raise their liquidity ratios or capital base, please. All right. And okay, it said, I need some clarification. Does this also involve online banks? Because they have become the favorite banks for business. Nigerians are still very unsure with the safety of these banks, as some of these online banks or microfinance banks don't have physical offices whereby customers can go to complain when they have issues. Thanks, Abbas, reporting from Duse. I'm not a specialist when it comes to that, and I'm hoping that we would engage the conversation with a specialist in that regard, so that I don't give a wrong stance on the matter, right? But then let's get on to this one right here. But your concerns, though, Abbas, is very legit concerns, and that might just form the base of conversation, in upcoming, outlooks right here on this platform. But let's bring this one to your eardrums. This one right here says, good morning, Daniel. I'm enjoying your on air this morning. God bless your heart. God bless your heart too. It says, my condolence to the family of our gallant men that lost their lives. It's good to hear that Mr. President made a promise to the children of the lost army. I wish the promise will be fulfilled. Shaibu Samuel from Airport Road. Right, Shaibu, thank you. Okay, this was yesterday. Oh, okay. Okay, now you're just saying good morning. All right, feels good. Thank you for the morning greetings. Good morning to you too, Shaibu. Okay, so let's get on to this one. This one right here says, good morning, Obong Uduak Daniel. Good morning to you too. It says, may your day be blessed. Amen. Your day as well. It says, the purported weekend increase in gas prices by the government to Gencos, or whatever name is being called, it's another underground move to justify an increase in electricity tariffs by the PHCN generally. We can still recall that the federal government has been using the Minister of Power, Mr. Dilabu, as a town crier to call for an astronomical increase in electricity tariffs. To add salt to an already petrifying injury, the government has reneged in its earlier promise to float Nigerian roads with the so-called electric vehicles. How many unfulfilled promises, by the Tinubu administration can we put up with in the country? Whether we agree with each other or not, things are falling apart in this nation, and it's time to speak out before the salt melts in water. We wish President Tinubu and his entourage safe trip to Senegal, but they shouldn't only go there to dine and wine. Let it be also to learn how the people elect their leaders. God bless Nigeria. Comrade Ulobasi has got that one to say. All right, Comrade, thank you for that one. And let's just squeeze in these voice notes, and then we'll call it a close. Hey, I feel excited seeing Vicky Vic. Vicky Vic, you look really slim this time, man. You better eat up and get fat. Anyways, though, let's bring this one to your eardrums as he puts his smile on his face right here and right now. Okay, so let's take it for the WhatsApp portal.
Good morning, Mr. Black. My name is Edward from Napo.
Good morning.
I actually want to talk about the Labour Party crisis. I say it's time that stakeholder in the Labour Party. I was a candidate in the Labour Party at the same time with Obi. I was going for house. I went for house. What I want to tell you is very simple. You see, what the Labour Party is doing, the best decision for Obi, if you actually want to move forward, is to look for another platform. It's the right time. If Labour Party, if only we win our election, let me tell you something. Labour Party would have been the worst party ever under this leadership of our present, chairman. There's no day that you don't see a test in Labour Party. It's not like that in APC, it's not like that in PDP, not like that in AMCA. What type of party is that? Every day, that man is not serious. Imagine ignoring Obi's advice. Advice is not ordering advice. You see, that Labour Party, if not because Obi joined the Labour, some of us joined the Labour Party. Labour Party was not like my constituency, they were not the Labour Party. Do you know that my own council ward chairman is a civil servant? We already believe that he will be party chairman. When I went there, we have to restructure everything. We spend a lot of money. So if what Obi say, honestly speaking, is the best decision. They say, but you're not giving us time to talk. You take more time for papers, introduction, and all those things. I don't know whether you are ready. Thank you. God bless you.
All right, thank you for that one, for your thought. But then, yes, the idea is not just about... it's also about hearing from you, but then it's about also bringing to your eardrums a little bit of a detail into some of these stories. It just allows, for decorum, and it allows for good information. Okay, but then I'll do my best. All right, thank you for that one. And finally, let's hear from Mr. Selassie.
Good morning, Udo Daniel. Big blessing, I greet you, ma. Talatu, Agive, I greet the listeners and callers of this great radio station. Udwak Daniels, my concern is about the insecurity. You can see what has been happening. Even in Kaduna, they are still kidnapping babies. That they are still with their mothers. I'm telling you, this insecurity is so alarming. And when we talk about this insecurity, some people feel as if we're against government or we are being politicized to this insecurity. Udwak, I have lost family member. As I always say this, we have paid ransom not once, not twice. For our family member to be released. As I'm speaking to you, some villages in my state have become ghosts because most of the youth have run away from the ancestral home. So when we talk about this insecurity, I know what I'm saying. I'm not being politicized. As I always say, today victims are yesterday survivor. Tomorrow victims are today survivor. It could be anyone. I always give the example of General Alkali that was traveling all the way from Abuja to Bauchi, and how he was killed. General Alkali fought as a Nigerian army and retired as a general. But look at what happened to him. So we are urging the government to do the needful in the aspect of this insecurity because it's so alarming. Look at them attacking boss, robbing people, set the bosses ablaze. Look at what happened in Delta. They kidnap people again in Delta. What is all this? We don't want to be hearing all about this insecurity. They should do the needful. Government must do the needful to see they protect the life of Nigerians. I greet Elder Oneja. Thank you for giving me the privilege. Nagodi.
All right, Selassie, right there. Indeed, that call is a call in the right direction, and yes, government needs to do the needful. But then this is where we will call the close on this particular segment of the Eagles Morning Rise, as I have Vicky Vic in the studio, and he's going to be taking you on sports on Eagles Wings, taking you across the world of sports and allowing you to know what exactly is going on in the sporting world. But thank you to each and every one of you for being a part of this, and don't forget that at 9 a.m. we would be back to have a discourse on Eagles Outlook. Don't go away.
No AC? No problem. We're cooling you down with the freshest hits. Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Hey, Abuja!